Car infotainment systems have come a long way in recent years, but very few manufacturers offer systems that have the ease and simplicity of a smartphone. Well, now, if you have an Apple or an Android handset, you can effectively turn your infotainment screen into your smartphone screen. The systems that enable you to do this are called Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You've probably heard of them, but what are they? What do they do and how do they work? We've got the new Subaru XV that offers both systems to find out. Let's start with Apple CarPlay first. To get it started, what you need is an iPhone 5 or any newer model made since then. You need an infotainment system that enables Apple CarPlay, and you need a USB. If you look on the Subaru screen here, it's got both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto icons, but they're not lit up at the minute. So let's plug in the phone. And there you see it flashes up with the CarPlay logo. And on the Subaru infotainment system, that also flashes up with the CarPlay logo as well. So if we click on that, it launches Apple CarPlay, and this is the main interface for it. You'll notice instantly that it's pretty much exactly the same as what you'd see on your phone. All the app icons are very familiar, and there's a nice grid layout to it as well. You can scroll across if there's more apps. The one slight restriction that you have with using Apple CarPlay is not every single app is able to work through it. So that's because Apple doesn't want to use that many third-party apps. So you can get things like Spotify, you can get things like the podcast app as well. The only sat-nav option that you're given is Apple Maps. Now, we know that lots of infotainment systems come with pretty naff sat-navs, so Apple Maps is an improvement on them, but it's not quite as good as some of the other smartphone sat-nav options that are available. So let's try and use the Apple Maps sat-nav. Get directions to Twickenham Station.
Getting directions to Twickenham Station.
And there we go, a couple of simple voice command functions, and then we're ready to go.
Route to Twickenham Station.
But a slightly annoying thing about Apple Maps is that you can't pinch and zoom. You have to use the zoom buttons manually like this, and it just means it feels a little bit laggy and it's not particularly smooth when you're using it. Another great feature of Apple CarPlay is the ability to send text messages from your phone hands-free. So to do that, you can use the help of Siri through the voice command button on your steering wheel again. Send a message to Dan Wren.
What do you want to say?
Hi Dan, I'm going to be late for lunch.
Your message to Dan Wren says, "Hi Dan, I'm going to be late for lunch." Ready to send it?
Send.
Done.
And there it's done. A very simple process that again means you can remain completely focused on the road and on driving. But if there's an emergency, like being late for lunch, you can send a text message as well. Let's look at Android Auto now. And to start it, it's a very similar process to Apple CarPlay. You need an Android phone that's running 5.0, which is Lollipop or later. You need an infotainment system that's capable of running Android Auto, and you need a USB cable. So let's plug this phone in. Give it a few seconds to work out what's going on. You'll see it brings up the Android Auto logo. It's telling me to look for the logo on the infotainment system. There it is, lit up, ready to go. Open it, and this is the home screen. You'll notice this is different from Apple CarPlay. Apple CarPlay, you had the app icons. You're presented with a more kind of traditional infotainment system layout. So along the bottom of the screen, these are the shortcut buttons that take you to the various different apps, and the apps are all segregated into different functions. So over here, these are your sat-nav options. And the really great thing about Android Auto is that it enables the use of Google Maps and Waze. So if you want to cycle between the two, you first click on the sat-nav icon, click on it again, and it brings up the choice. So you can cycle through Waze or Google Maps. Then once you've chosen, it's a very similar process to inputting things like it is with Apple CarPlay. So at any time you can press the voice command button and you can input a destination. Navigate to Twickenham Station.
Navigating to Twickenham.
And it's as easy as that, and you're ready to go. Here you have your phone options, so you can make and receive phone calls. This is the home button to take you back to the home screen. This is your music choices, and again, if you've got more than one music app, this is how you cycle between them. And this, probably a bit unnecessary, is the button that takes you to the main Subaru infotainment screen. Now you could argue that in Apple CarPlay it's a little bit simpler to get from one function to another. That's because everything is laid out in front of you and it's easy to navigate. With Android Auto, you do need to click on these main menus to then access some sub-menus. But certainly compared to most car infotainment systems, this is easy and simple. Again, just like Apple CarPlay, you can receive text messages and send them hands-free using the voice control button. Message Dan Wren.
Message to Dan Wren using SMS? Sure. What's the message?
Hi Dan, I'm going to be really late for lunch.
Here's your SMS message to Dan Wren. Hi Dan, I'm going to be really late for lunch. Do you want to send it or change it?
Send.
It's on its way. Message sent.
Just like Apple CarPlay, simple, easy and safe. You can operate all these functions while keeping your hands on the wheel and remaining focused on the road. Many new cars do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard, but not all of them do. Some have it as an option, but others, like Jaguar Land Rover products, don't offer it at all. If you are interested in getting it but don't want to buy a new car, then don't forget you can buy some aftermarket head units that will also offer the system. For more videos like this, and for the latest car news, reviews and videos, don't forget to subscribe to the What Car YouTube channel.